Okay, friends, welcome back to our online Bible study. We're going to jump in right where we left off last time. In fact, we're going to back up a little bit and cover a little bit of yesterday's reading. Also, we're going to dive right in. And what we're going to see today, I think, will be practically compelling. I know that it is for me. And also kind of surprising in some ways. So let's back up a little bit. Look at verse 37. Jesus is talking to these folks, and he says, I know that you are Abraham's descendants, okay? Yet you are looking for a way to kill me. You folks are trying to kill me, okay? All right? Because you have no room for my word. I'm telling you what I have seen in my Father's presence, and you are doing what you have heard from your father. So what is implied right there? I have a father, and you have a father, and they are what? Different fathers. They're offended. Abraham is our father. And biologically speaking, that is absolutely true. I mean, they can trace, they know what tribe in Israel they're a part of. There are 12 tribes of Israel. And from those 12 tribes, you trace them right back to Abraham. I mean, through Abraham and Sarah, and then Isaac and Rebekah, and then Jacob, and he had 4 women that he had those 12 kids with. So you can trace their lineage all the way back to Abraham. I don't know what you're talking about, these different fathers. Look, Jesus, you're also a Jew. We got the same father in Abraham. If you were Abraham's children, so here he's clearly already saying you're not Abraham's children. If you were Abraham's children, Jesus said, then you would do what Abraham did. As it is, you are looking for a way to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. Look, I'm just telling you the truth, and you're trying to kill me. Abraham didn't do such things. That's not what Abraham did. So don't tell me that Abraham's your father. You are doing the work of your own father. Okay, there's a little mystery there. So who is your own father? Okay, what's Jesus? I mean, what is he doing here? So often he's speaking in metaphor. It's hard to understand, but I think that we can dig into this and see it pretty clearly. You can get way off track here, and some people have done some really, really mean, nasty, evil, mean is too slight of a word, evil things with this passage. Talking about like Jews being the sons of the devil. That's a spoiler alert. That's coming in a second. Totally not what Jesus is saying. Okay? I mean, that is like evil stuff. He is not saying that. What's he saying here? We play spades with some friends. Amy and I do. And I don't know if you know this, if you play spades, there are all kinds of different rules that you can modify, like the way that you do certain things. So what you end up having is you end up having house rules. Like in this house, we play this way. Like these are house rules. If you go to somebody's house, you play by their house rules. I think Jesus is kind of talking about house rules. He's not talking about biologically being the sons of Abraham. Hey, we'll go ahead and skip down here. What does he say? He says, you belong to your father, the devil. Okay? It's harsh stuff. He's not saying you're actually the children of the devil. That's how the Nazis and others just totally intentionally misrepresented the scripture to do evil things. That's not what Jesus is saying. He said, look, Abraham's got house rules. Look at how Abraham did things. He did things through faith and righteousness. Abraham's got house rules. And you're not playing by Abraham's house rules, so don't tell me that you're Abraham's children. Don't tell me that. I mean, I understand biologically, but you're not acting like Abraham's kids. You're not playing by his rules. You know whose rules you're playing by? You're playing by the house rules of the devil. You want to carry out your father's desires. You want to live by his house rules. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth. There's no truth in him. I mean, the father of that house that you've moved into, he's a liar. And here I am telling you the truth, and you don't have anything to do with it. You want to shut me down. I mean, in his house, you know what his rules are? He's a murderer. Here you are trying to murder. So don't tell me that you are a part of Abraham's house. You moved into that house. You're playing by those house rules. And he says this not to condemn them. He says this not to like wag a finger at them. And he says this not, again, I want to belabor this. He says this not to say that like this is what Jews are like. Jesus is a Jew. It's not that. He says this to tell them to get out of the house. You're playing by the wrong rules. And don't even just go back and get in Abraham's house, but let's come with me. Let's get in the Father's house. Let's play by his rules. Let's play by those house rules. So let me just ask you, whose house rules are you playing by? Well, I mean, it's a great question that Jesus is posing here. Whose house rules are you playing by? I mean, you don't even have to go to the devil stuff, okay? Are you just playing by the house rules everybody else has got? If everybody else is like, are there rules defining what you do? Are you playing by their rules for what success looks like? Their rules about how you handle conflict? Their rules about how you raise kids? Or their rules about how you date? Their rules about all that stuff? You playing by those house rules? Or Jesus says, come on. What I am teaching you, go back to the teaching from yesterday. What I am teaching you is I am teaching you the truth. And let's live by the Father's house rules. And ultimately it comes down to, for Jesus, loving God and loving people. Let's live by those rules. So, question for us, I got to consider, you got to consider, whose house rules are we playing by? Jesus' teachings are so good, so profound. It's not about biological children. It's not about that. It's about whose house are we living in? Whose house rules are we following? And it's an invitation to them then, an invitation to us now. Come on out. Come on out. Let's move in the Father's house. Play by His rules. This is an example of one of those scriptures that can be taken out of context and used to do evil stuff. And that is the work of the devil. I mean, using this for evil, that's the work of the devil. Use it for good. Use it to see an invitation in it for you to start playing by His rules. God bless you, friends. Keep it up. Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon.